Hello, Aiden. Seems you are the only one so far. Do you have any specific questions and we can cover? Hello? Not at the moment. Okay, so then let's go to MATLAB Math. Last time, I think we covered some questions about annuities. And today my plan is to cover problems about installment loan. Both auto loan and home loan, they are fixed installment loan. So my plan is half of the time we work on 8.6, the other half of the time we work on home mortgage. Sounds good? We will not finish all the questions, but we will get you started about those two sections. So cars, let's go to section 8.6. As I mentioned earlier, both auto loan and home mortgage, the money when you purchase a car and or a house, since those products are very large, you might not have the cash to pay in full. So you might need to borrow money, get a loan. So both auto loan and home loan, they belong to installment loan. Then what is the installment loan? Installment loan refers to any type of loan paid off in regular intervals over time. If we get a loan to buy a car or buy a house, then we would pay off the money we owe by month. Normally is monthly. Pay back over years. In the case of a car loan, maybe 4 years, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years. In the case of home mortgage, maybe deposit payment every month over 15 years or 20 years or 30 years. So that's the definition for installment loan. And let's look at the problems in this section. Start the first question. Give a little bit time to react. Okay. This is to round a decimal. Round it to the nearest 10, then 50. In 1, we have 4. In 10, we have 5. Since 4 is less than 5, we round it down. Type a whole number or a decimal, so 50. Round it down. Question number 2. 6.4 divided by 9. If you get a calculator, we divide 6.4 by 9. You will get a decimal, infinite decimal, 0.71111 continue. So 1 repeating. The right way to represent such infinite but repeating decimal is to put a bar on top of the 1, indicating 1 is repeating. And we should choose D in this case. Number 3, convert the percent to its equivalent decimal. From percent to decimal, firstly, we drop the percent sign. Secondly, we move the decimal point 2 times to the left. So we will have 0.0 0.009. Okay, 0.009. And we have seen this problem many times, almost all the sections in chapter 8. We solve for x, then we are going to treat whatever inside the parentheses as the coefficient of x. To isolate x, we divide each side of the equation by the coefficient. So numerator is t, denominator is a plus d. A plus d. Fill in the blank such that the resulting statement is true. The two types of contracts involved with leasing a car are called an closed-end and open-end. About the definition of those two types of leasing contracts, we can look at the guided notes. Let me get the guided notes very quick. 8.6. right here. Leasing car is an option. In our guided note, we have the comparison between leasing a car and buying a car. The two types of leasing contracts, closed-end and open-end. What is closed-end? Each month you make a fixed payment based on estimated usage. When the lease ends, you return a car and pay for the mileage in excess of your estimate. That's closed-end. Open-end lease. Each month you make a fixed payment based on the car's residual value. Residual value is the estimated resale value of the car at the end of the lease and is determined by the dealer. When the lease ends, you return a car and make a payment based on its appraised value at that time compared to its residual value. If the appraised value is less than the residual value stated in the lease, you pay all or a portion of the difference. If the appraised value is greater than or equal to the residual value, you owe nothing and you may receive a refund. So that's the difference between open-end and closed-end. Those knowledge are pretty interesting, very closely related to real world. Even in my class videos, I do not spend a lot of time or focus on those knowledge. I mainly focus on solving the examples, the math part, but I always strongly recommend in my video you spend time to read those information. Those are very important knowledge. Question number 6, fill in the blank. The type of insurance that pays for damage to your car due to fire, theft, or falling objects is called what coverage? Not liability. Is to pay for damage to your car, not the other person's car. Collision. Let's try this one. Oops. Try again. Then that would be comprehensive, right? Let's see. Comprehensive. Yeah, not a liability. Liability is to pay the other party's car. And those is called a comprehensive coverage. Comprehensive. Okay. Next. When an open-end lease terminates and a car's appraised value is less than the residual value stated in the lease, you owe nothing. I think this is about open-end lease. When open-end lease terminates and the car's appraised value is less than the residual value stated in the lease, you owe nothing. Let's look at the guidance notes. Open end. So if the appraised value is greater than, if the value is greater than, when it's beneficial to the lender, the dealer, I mean, when it's benefited to the dealer, then you pay nothing, right? So it's false. How do we fix it? The true statement is when an open-end lease terminates and the car's appraised value is less than the residual values, you owe the difference. Yeah, should be this one. You always have to, the contract always have to make that you pay whatever you need to pay. Question number 8, monthly payments and the total interest for the loan. Okay, so this is auto loan. Suppose you need to borrow 11,000 for 4 years at 8% toward the purchase of a car. The question guides you to use this formula to find the monthly payment and the total interest for the loan. As my table note shows, in order to find monthly payment and interest, mainly is monthly payment. In order to find the monthly payment for the installment loan for both car loan and home mortgage, I have 3 different methods. The first method is to use the formula. This right here, this formula. Pretty complicated. Yeah, very complicated. Second method is to use the time value of money. That's a typo. It's supposed to be TVM solver in the TI-84 calculator. At this point, I think we should not be we should be a little bit familiar with the program, the app in the calculator. The third method is to use Excel. It's also very convenient. It's just you cannot use it for the test. So when we go over this section, like before, like always, I'm going to only use the second method, all right? Only use the second method. So let's spend time to copy down the information. Yeah, make sure you copy down the information on your scratch paper. What kind of loan this is? I took a picture on my phone. Then later when I switch to the calculator, I still have the information. So this is the money, the loan amount is 11,000, 4 year, 8%. Yeah, that's the information. Okay, I'm going to switch to my calculator. Let's see if we have more people join us. Oh, still Aiden, just you. Okay, that's fine. And let me switch to the calculator. Share camera. Can you hear me now? Something. Okay, my gosh. I think. Oh, okay, awesome. Not the entire time, right? Did I just mute myself? Made the system mute myself. Okay. You were only muted for a minute. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So I'm saying for the installment loan, the PV present value right here is your loan amount. In this case, is 11,000, and future value FV is 0 because you want to pay off your loan, owe nothing in 4 years. Yeah. Once again, for installment loan, present value always the loan amount, future value is 0, and we are looking for the monthly payment. P per Y and C per Y, they are both 12 because you pay by month, right? Okay, now let's go back, payment, PMT, and then alpha, enter, solve for the payment. It's going to be negative. So it's $267.25. Yeah, that's the monthly cost of getting a car, your dream car. It's pretty good. I mean, for if you have a job, like you have income, monthly income, that part gonna goes to the car. But on top of the monthly payment, automobile also have other expenses such as gas, right? Insurance, tag, maintenance. So you're gonna budget more money than that every month for that car. Okay, so let's enter the value. Let me share back. Waiting for the tunnel. Okay, so let's enter the answer we have. Yeah, please always read the information in the parentheses. Super important for this chapter. Also for your test too. I have seen my students get a low score because they did not pay attention to the sentence in the parentheses. They did not run the answer as required. It says do not run until the final answer, then run to the nearest cent as needed. Okay, so our answer is $267. We run it to the nearest cents, 25 cents. Round it down. Let's see what happened. 267.25 cents. Nearest cent as needed. Round it to the nearest cent. Which part? Let me double check. 11,000 070. My bad. So earlier the interest rate I entered 7.75 for some reason, probably from previous question. No, the annual interest rate is 8. So if I fix that and solve for payment again, I apologize for that. I got 268.54. Let's fix that. So the interest, I entered the wrong entry. The annual interest rate is supposed to be 8. Yeah, after I fix that, I have $268.54. Right? Yeah. Let's do one more. The second part. Second part is to find the total interest for the loan. And how do we find that? How do we find the interest? Let me get a simple calculator right here. So every month you pay $268.54. Every month you pay that much money, right? Out of your pocket. And multiply that by 12. That's 1 year. How much money you pay 1 year. And then multiply by 4. And that's how much money you pay the entire time over the 4 years, right? But how much money you owe? You only owe 11,000. So if we minus from that value, from the money you pay over the 4 years, we subtract the money you owe, 11,000. The difference is gonna be the interest. Round to the nearest cent as needed. So it's gonna be 1889.92. 1889.92. That's how do we find the interest. The interest of the loan is the cost of the loan. The profit of the dealer, not that dealer, the lender. The lender. Next question. Suppose that you decide to borrow 15,000 for a new car. You can select one of the following loans, each requiring regular monthly payment. So we have two plans. Plan A, 3-year loan at 5.1%. Plan B, 5-year loan at 7.2%. The question said use the formula to complete Part A through Part C. And we are not going to use the formula. We are going to use our TBM solver in the TI-84 calculator. So please get a scratch paper and write down the information about the two plans. Okay? Plan A, 3-year loan. Three-year loan. Interest is lower, 5.1%. Plan B is a 5-year loan, longer time, but the interest is higher, 7.2%. So the first part, Part A, we need to find the monthly payment and the total interest for loan A. So Part A is about the loan A. We need to round it to the nearest cent as needed. Okay, so let's go to my calculator. Share camera. Okay, so the manual is right here. We are going to enter the information about the first plan, loan A. Yeah, let's look at the information we just wrote down. Installment loan A, 3-year loan at 5.1%. 3-year. So big N is going to be 12 times 3, 36. Yeah, that's the total number of the payments you are going to deposit over the longevity of the loan. I% interest rate 5.1. This time let me make sure that I enter the right interest rate, 5.1 for the loan A. Present value, remember for a installment loan, present value is always the loan amount. So you need to borrow 15 grand. 1, 2, 3, 15 grand. And payment, monthly payment is something we're going to solve for, right? Future value always 0. And everything else should stay the same. P per Y, C per Y, always 12. And you pay the end of each month. So now we put the blinker. The indicator is blinking at the payment, right? So we are going to solve for the payment. Yeah, let me double check. 3-year loan, so 36, 5.1%, loan amount 15 grand. Okay, so everything seems right. So we go solve for the payment. We got a $450 rounded up to the nearest cent, 24 cents. $450, 24 cents. I'm going to enter that to the system. Okay, 450, sorry, $450, 24 cents. And it's correct, right? It is correct. And the total interest for the loan A. Yeah, let me. How about, since the calculator is already here, how about let's find out the monthly payment for the second option, for the plan B. For plan B, we only need to fix some entry. Okay, fix some entry in this menu to get a monthly payment for plan B. Plan B, 5-year loan, so 12 times 5, 60. Annual interest rate is higher, 7.2%. Present value, same. Future value, same. P per Y, C per Y are all stay the same, 12. And all we need to do is to solve for the monthly payment. Once we fix the number of years and interest rate, we're going to solve for the new payment. Plan B. Plan B, we have $298.44, right? A lot less, but you pay longer. You pay 5 years. That one is 3 years. Yeah, let's remember this number. Let's remember this number for Plan B. The monthly payment for Plan B is $298.44. And now I'm going to go back our system. And earlier we just got the monthly payment for the Plan A, right? And what's the total interest for loan A? We're gonna find out what's the total interest. We pay $450, 24 cents every month. For how many months? 3-year loan for 36 months. So multiply by 36. And that's how much money you pay over the 3 years in total. And we're going to use that money to minus the money you actually owe, 15 grand, 15,000. And the difference is $1,208.64. So let's enter that. Nearest cents I needed. 1208.64. 1208.64. For Plan B, remember earlier we have already solved for Plan B. Is $298.44, right? And what's the interest for Plan B, for loan B? We're gonna figure that out. Use the calculator. Excuse me for this. Let me get rid of that, kind of like a virus in my computer. Okay, so let me double check where everything's fine here. I'm muted, and it's recording, and it's sharing. Awesome. For Plan B, what's the interest? We pay $298 44 cents every month. For how many months? 5-year loan for 60 months. So multiply by 60. Multiply by 60. And that's how much money we pay in total over the 5 years. And then subtract the loan amount, 15 grand, from the total money you pay. And the difference is the interest. Almost $3,000, right? 2906.4. 2906.4. 2906.4. That's part B about loan B. Part C. Compare the monthly payments and the total interest for the two loans. Determine the monthly payment. Determine which loan is more economical. Is more economical. Choose the correct answer below. Yeah, which one is more economical? Like save your money in the long run, not just every month. The 3-year loan, right? Yeah, even every month you pay more, but see the loan as a whole, you save money. As you can see, the interest, the cost of loan A is only 1,200, a little bit more than 1,200, but the cost of plan B is almost 3,000. So of course, plan A is more economical. All right. So that's some questions in section 8.6. Let me see how many questions left. And I would let you to finish the rest of the questions, all right? And this is a very good question. We have learned how do we use the TDM solver to find the monthly payment. Once we have the monthly payment, how do we figure out the interest, total interest for the loan, for the car loan? And the rest of the time, let's go to section 8.7. Solve some of the questions in the section of home mortgage, 8.7. So I'm going to close that. And this is the page. Go to assignments. Home mortgage is the same as car loan when it comes to the type of loan. Both of them are fixed installment loan. In that sense, they are the same. Of course, buying a car and buying a house is different. Buying a house is more complicated. Buying a car probably Aiden, can you hear me now? How many minutes did my voice disappear this time? I wasn't aware of that. I did not mute myself. Okay. Frozen for a couple of minutes. Oh, okay. Okay, awesome. Can you see it now? Awesome, very good. Yeah, I need to frequently double check. So this is about basic concept of mortgage and down payment. A long-term installment loan for the purpose of buying a home is called a mortgage. A percentage of the house price, sales price of the house, the buyer initially pays to the seller is called a down payment. Question number 5. Financial advisors suggest spending no more than 5% of your gross monthly income for your mortgage payment. That's not correct. They probably would recommend the responsible advisor should recommend no more than 28%. Yeah, you can find the information in our guided notes, by the way. The statement is false. The true statement is financial advisors suggest spending no more than 28% of your gross monthly income for your mortgage payment. Shy 30%, 28%. Question number 6. Use the formula. You should, we saw this formula multiple times in previous section, right? That's the formula we use to calculate monthly payment for the car loan. Same formula we use to calculate the monthly payment for the home mortgage. And by the way, in the formula, the P here is the loan amount. Has nothing to do with principal or whatever, okay? Is the loan amount or present value of the loan. Let's read the information about this problem. To determine the regular payment amount, rounded to the nearest dollar, okay? Remember that? The price of a home is 124 grand. The bank requires 20% down payment and 3 points at the time of closing. The cost of the home is financed with a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 9.5%. Complete Part A through Part E. Okay, let's do that. Part A, find the requirement down payment. Home price $124,000. How many percent you need to pay? You need to pay 20%. Yeah, down payment. That's good. Multiply by 20%. How do we convert 20% to its equivalent decimal? 0.2, right? 0.2. 24 grand 800. 24 grand 800. $24,800. And that's the required down payment. So depends on the price of the house you're gonna buy. At least you need to save that kind of money. Actually, more than that, because you have closing costs, you have escrow cost. So more than that, but that's the big chunk of the upfront cost. Part B, find the amount of the mortgage. And how do we understand mortgage? Mortgage is the loan amount of the home mortgage. So what are we going to do is we're going to subtract your down payment from the home price. The difference is going to be the loan amount or the amount of mortgage. That's one way, okay? One way to do that. So we use $124,000 to minus down payment 24,800. 24,800. The difference is 99,200. 99,200. $99,200. Okay, another way to get that done. There's another way to get it done to fund the amount of mortgage. Since you pay upfront, you pay 20%. That means you have to borrow from the lender. You have to borrow 80%. So another way to fund out the mortgage amount is to use the home price of 124,000 multiplied by 80% multiplied by 0.8. Because you pay the down payment, you pay 20%. It means you have to borrow 80%. The rest of 80%, you get the same amount. Yeah. The first method obviously is easier for most of the students. Okay, the difference. Part C, how much must be paid for the 3 points at the closing? Yeah, here we need to be careful. What is a point? A point when you close at the closing, 1 point is 1% of your mortgage. It is not 1% of the home price, not the sales price of the home. It is 1% of your loan amount. Yeah. So here 3 points is gonna be 3% of the mortgage. So let's calculate. That's the mortgage, right? It's still in a calculator. We are going to multiply that by 3%. 3% as decimal is 0.03. 0.03. 3% of the mortgage. And is $2,976. Shy $3,000. So that's another cost, as you can see, right? Some lenders, the points are not mandatory. Really depends on your lender. You have to shop around to see which lender gave you the best deal. But as you can see, if the points is required upfront, that's another big chunk of cost, right? Almost $3,000. 2976. 2976. Part D, find the monthly payment excluding escrowed taxes and insurance. In reality, with escrowed taxes and insurance, your monthly payment is higher. And in our problem, in this assignment, in this section, the monthly payment only includes the principal and the interest. All right. So let me write down the information of this problem, and then we are going to go to the calculator. What information we need for funding the monthly payment? So firstly, we need to know is a 30-year mortgage, right? 30-year mortgage. And the interest rate is 9.5%. And the loan amount we got it from part B is $99,200. Okay, so those information, with those information written down, let's go to my calculator. Share camera. Okay, so turn on my calculator. Yeah, it's already in the TBM solver. So all the way go up, 30-year loan, a 30-year loan. So 12 times 30, 360 is a very long time, right? Over the 30 years, you are going to pay 360 payments in total. Annual interest rate, 9.5%. That is very high, 9.5%. But you never know. The interest today, mortgage rate today, is kind of like a triple of 3 years ago. In 2020, the interest hit a history low. And present value, remember, present value is the loan amount, not the home price, is the money you need to borrow. 99,200 is the money is the amount of the mortgage we got from Part B. 99,200. Okay. So monthly payment is what we're going to solve for. Future value is 0. P per Y, C per Y is 12. And everything stays the same. And we go to payment. Alpha, enter. 800. Sounds right? Mortgage 800 each every month. Yeah. $834.13. Let's see, how do we round it? How does the question require us? Round it to the nearest dollar, okay, as needed. So round it to the nearest dollar, then we would have $834. Because it said round to, it doesn't say round up to. So round to, then we follow the normal rounding rule. $834. $834. Right? Yeah, with the app, the calculation is a lot easier. Find the total cost of interest over 30 years. Same with the home car loan. So you pay $834 every month. For how many months? Am I sharing back? Yeah, let's go back. The system. Earlier we got the answer for Part D. Monthly payment is $834. If we pay $834 every month for 30 years, right? So that is multiplied by 360. Yeah, multiplied by 360. Multiplied by 360. And that's how much money you pay the entire time. And then use that money to minus the money you owe. We got a number from Part B, 99,200. You only owe 99,200. Okay, you only owe 99,200. So minus 99,200. And the difference is the cost of the loan. That's the interest. To the nearest dollar as needed. So 201,040. 201,040. 201,040. That is more than the price of the, right? More than the price of the home mortgage. As you can see how expensive it is. Very, very expensive. The reason is because the interest rate is very high. 9.5%, that's very, very high. Okay, so we are going to stop here and continue on Wednesday. Tomorrow is the 4th of July holiday, so we take it off. And we will meet on Wednesday, 6 p.m. All right, Ethan? You have a good 4th of July tomorrow. I'll see you on Wednesday. No problem. Okay, bye-bye.